Everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on the LA Girl Glazed Lip Paint Collection. I have all 6 shades to show you, and I'm going to be talking about formula, pigmentation, how they apply, and even comparing them to other popular products like Too Faced, Bodyography, Sweet Pea and Faye, OCC Lip Tars, and even Milani Lip Intense Liquid Color. I really got you covered in this video. But let's start with the swatches because I know that that's what you guys come to see my videos for. I know some of you don't care about my yak. Anyway, so let's start with the swatches and then I'll get into all of the information. So the first one I'm going to show you is Koi, and this one is a nice bright purple. I'm wearing it today, and I'm going to be talking a lot about like a slime layer. This is what I'm talking about. You see this little like layer of stuff that happens with these, and I'm going to talk about that in the info. But let's talk about Koi. So first of all, it kind of looks like a little lip gloss container, kind of like a Blistex. And they come out pretty pigmented. That's a thick swatch, but they thin out and you still retain that pigmentation, which is nice. So you only need a tiny drop to get full-blown pigmentation, as you can see right there. Full-blown high gloss pigmentation. The next shade is Bombshell, and this is a bright pink shade. Put a little drop of that one. Again, a little bit goes a huge way. That's Bombshell. Then the next shade I'm going to show you guys is Pinup, and this is a red one. So if you're a little bit more reserved, you don't do the hot pink, hot purple shades, Pinup might be for you. Again, very glossy, very pigmented, even when you shear it out. It retains that pigment. Next shade I'm going to show you guys is called Hot Mess, and this is like a corally orange shade. There you go. The next shade is Blushing. I think it's called Blushing. Blushing. And this is another kind of purple shade, but this is definitely more subdued. This is like a mauve-y shade. And last but not least, we have Babydoll. And Babydoll is the lightest shade, and this one is a pink. Oof. This one is like ridiculous. Every time I've tried to apply this even to my lips, it just comes out way too much. Okay. So if you're wondering to yourself, gee, those look really messy, why are they, you know, so liquidy? That's one of my complaints. So here are the swatches, though. As you can see, super bright pigmented formula. Now, a few notes about the formula. It's extremely watery. When you first apply it, it's so messy. Like, I put a drop on and I try to smear it out, but it goes from like tiny drop, like too little, to too much very quickly, and that's so annoying when you're trying to do a product and you've placed a little bit in the center of your lip and it's smearing all over. I feel like every time I use these I have to be extra careful. Like, I'm almost afraid. It's like, you know how some people feel about liquid liner, like they just can't do it, they're afraid, like they're doing it and they know they're gonna mess up, but they try so hard. That's how I felt with this. This product definitely requires like some sort of clear liner. Like Milani makes a good clear liner to help the product, really to get an idea of where you're putting your product. I get this weird layer, like a little like mustache thing on the top of my lip after a long bit of wear. I've been wearing this for a couple of hours. It's not as glossy as it once was. When you apply them, they pick up a little bit of the pigmentation on your lip, because as you can see, it's a little bit more blue-based here, and on my lip it looks a little bit more red-based. That's because eventually they start picking up the pigmentation of your lips. Most of these products, most of these shades, they don't settle into the fine lines of your lips. They don't create bleeding. They don't create feathering on your lips, I found. But except for the lighter shades like Babydoll, this one settled into my lips. Now these do, like I said, they do dry down a little bit more. They don't retain their super glossiness. These are not a type of product that you'd want to put, a gloss on top of. These are the kind of product that you may want to put on top of a liner to give it a longer wear. This does have a decent amount of wear time, though. You get like 4 hours of wear before you see any like significant fading, like not like this, but I mean like significant fading where you're not even sure if you're wearing the product anymore. The Babydoll, though, lasted like maybe 2-3 hours. But these products, like I said, I do like the pigmentation. I just find they're so hard to work with. I would have liked a brush. They remind me of the watery formula of the OCC Lip Tars, because the OCC Lip Tar also comes out kind of, you know, kind of watery, kind of liquidy. Here's hoochie. As you can see, very liquidy, but when you smear it out, it gets matte, it gets thick, it just looks like it's thin. These don't do that. These kind of retain that liquid slip and slide kind of feel unless you really shear them out, and then all of a sudden you start getting similar formulas. I feel like these products would have been best if we had a brush, if we had some sort of applicator. The lip gloss opening is just not cutting it. It's like you have to use the tip to line, but the mess in the middle stage, you can't squeeze any little bit extra out. It starts to create a mess. Unless you have large lips, these are just very hard to use. But they are affordable. They're only $3 each, so you can complain from now until next week. If you're on a budget and you want a similar product to Too Faced or OCC Lip Tars, these are a product that you're going to want to pick up. You're just going to have to put a little bit of extra work into it. Maybe get a lip brush. You can get one for like $1 to really help define your lips, or a clear lip liner, or use it over a lip liner in order to get a more defined, more professional look on your lips. Now I'm going to compare these quickly to the Too Faced shades. This shade is called Melted Violet, and I'm going to compare this one to Koi. Melted Violet has the little felt tip applicator. As you can see, Melted Violet's much more closer to Hoochie than it is to Koi. Koi is much more blue-based. So if you were looking for a more blue-based shade, actually it's kind of similar to the lip shade that you eventually get, but if you're looking for an initial more blue-based shade, go with Koi. The next shade I'm going to show you guys is Melted Fuchsia, and this one is pretty similar to the shade Bombshell. It's pretty similar. It's not exactly a dupe. It's similar. This one is more deep, but you can see they really are just about the same shade. Then, since I don't have all the melteds, I'm only going to be able to show you the ones I have. This is Melted Fig, and this one is similar to, I'm going to look up the name again in a second, Blushing. Very similar to Blushing. Blushing is way more creamy, more glossy, but once it settles down on your lips after like an hour, you're going to start to see almost the exact shade as Melted Fig. And then I also have Melted Marshmellow, which is somewhat similar. Melted Marshmellow is a little bit more subtle than the pink that they have. The pink that they have still has a bright pink to it. As you can see, I feel like a toddler. I'm making a mess with these shades. They're very messy. I feel the same way with them on my lips. You definitely want to blot your lips down a little bit. You can prevent getting that slime layer if you do that. Comparison to Milani, Milani has a brush, so Milani is easier to use. But in terms of shade, the Milani purple is much more pink based. That's Violet Addict. Pink Rave is kind of similar. They almost look like they're the same product. Then I have the other pink, which is Fiery Coral. This really, it doesn't have one that matches up to it exactly. But again, if I were to pick over a drugstore, if I was in the drugstore and I had to choose over the LA Girl or the Milani, I would go Milani just because it has the applicator. The Bodyography also has an applicator, so I would go for that as well. This is another hot pink. Like running out of space. Also very similar. Actually, this color is more similar to the reddish shade. And then to compare again to the OCC Lip Tars, the OCC Lip Tars are also watery, but they have more of a matte finish once you play with them a little bit. One other thing I have to say is the scent. The scent is a little bit minty, kind of like a stale mint. You smell it when you initially put this product on. You smell it as you're applying it. After a few minutes, the smell is gone, but it's not as pleasant as the OCC Lip Tar mint smell. It's not something that I would rave about. Didn't really like it too much, honestly. But in terms of affordability and color pigmentation, if you're willing to put in just a little bit of more work to save a little bit of cash, considering the OCC Lip Tars and the Too Faced Cosmetics are like $20, these are much more full. You can get the whole collection for the same price that you would pay for one. So if you're willing to save some money and put a little bit of effort in, definitely pick these up. They are available. Also guys, if you haven't seen my video that I just posted recently, most of my videos are now going to be containing a shop the video link right in the info section. So if you'd like to buy the products that I'm talking about in my videos, you can easily slap through that list. It's going to give you a quick list of where you can find all the products that I've mentioned in my videos. So be on the lookout for that at the info section in underneath my videos. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust. I also have my blog. I'm going to leave my blog link below. Please enjoy the swatches, and thank you so much for watching.